First and foremost, I want to talk about this fight between Daniel Jacobs and Gabriel Rosado. Um, just right off rip, this is a horrible decision. And I know that on this show, I'm just constantly talking about bad judging and bad scoring. Um, but this fight right here, in a lot of ways, is everything that's wrong with the sport right now. It's everything that's wrong with the sport. First of all, there's a clear A side and a clear B side, which in boxing there always is, unfortunately. You got Jacobs, who's sort of thought of as the very top of the sport in a lot of ways, as far as, his weight neighborhood. Thought of as a top contender, giving Canelo and Triple G all they can handle. And Rosado is kind of the ultimate journeyman, the ultimate jobber, the ultimate B-side. He's been the B-side over and over and over again. And he always puts up a good fight. He always gives a good show. Every once in a while, he sneaks one out. And that was clearly the narrative. In a way, this was a stay busy fight for Jacobs. And I think I kind of viewed it that way too, in a lot of ways. And I like Rosado. But I think the narrative going into the fight was that this was a stay busy fight for Jacobs. It wasn't really that much of a threat. And if Jacobs was Jacobs, that this was going to be kind of easy. And that's not what happened at all. What happened was Jacobs spent 12 rounds being very, very passive. Not initiating, not really engaging when Rosado got near him, not really engaging when Rosado hit him. And Rosado was not overly aggressive himself, but his jab was really busy. On the occasion that Daniel would try to throw something serious, there was always an answer. And for the most part, for 12 rounds, I think Rosado just kind of stuck to the boxing basics and gave Jacobs kind of a boxing lesson. I think anywhere from 9-3 to 7-5 is appropriate for that fight, just because even when Jacobs would land, there was these long gaps of inactivity where he was just doing nothing. He was kind of just having a look. And I kept thinking it was like, all right, when he fought Canelo, started out kind of slow. He didn't get really going in that fight until the 7th or the 8th. I thought, maybe that's just what he's doing again. And since it's not Canelo, it's going to work. And then the 7th goes by, the 8th goes by, the 9th goes by. If anything, Rosado's just getting better the back half of the fight. He's getting more confident. He's landing the right hand upstairs. The jab is landing pretty regularly. He's mixing up where he's putting it. And it's very rare that there's something coming back at him. So, at the end of the fight, I felt pretty confident that Rosado was going to win. But I had this sinking feeling in my gut that wasn't going to happen, because that's always what fucking happens in boxing. And so they go to read the decision and they say it's a split decision. I'm like, of course, here we go. And they say the first one's for Rosado, second one for Jacobs. Then they read the third one, 115-113, for your winner by split decision from Philadelphia. And they say from Philadelphia. If you're watching that fight, Jacobs is from Brooklyn and Rosado's from Philadelphia. So I started freaking the fuck out about, holy shit, there's some justice in boxing. This is fucking amazing. And I have like a minute where I'm celebrating, and I look back at the TV, and Jacobs is like very timidly holding his hand, or the ref's holding his fist up, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck just happened? And they're talking about how they announced the decision wrong. They announced the cities wrong, which made it double shitty. It made it double fucking shitty, man, because you not only just straight up got the decision wrong, you gave that guy that moment of feeling like he had that glory. That's like 15, 20 years of hard work, accumulating into the potentially the biggest win of your career. And they didn't just take it from him. They gave him 3-4 seconds to let him feel like he had it, and to let us feel like he had it. And it's unfortunate that this sport shoots itself in the foot so often. And I'm going to keep talking about it until it's not a problem anymore. But time after time, there seems to be too many interests, too many people with their hands in the pot that dictate and add the narratives on these fights. And so it's almost like it doesn't matter what we see with our own eyes. It doesn't matter the fucking fight we watch. If there's money in one fighter, the whole sport, the whole system is going to go out of its way to make sure that that money train keeps on going. Because there's a lot of people that know, and it doesn't necessarily work like this, right? Like if they gave the decision to Rosado, he doesn't instantly become as marketable as Danny Jacobs. It doesn't work like that. If Danny Jacobs gets an iffy decision, you know, there's they have no problem throwing him in with one of the top guys now. He'll get that big fight. And it's the system of boxing that has pushed him through. Be it the promoters, the athletic commissions, the judges, the belt organizations, the networks. There's 10 different things working, in this case, in Danny Jacobs' favor. The whole narrative of the fight is built around him and what's next for him. And Rosado's just a piece in that narrative. He's just a piece in that story. That was the Danny Jacobs show. And it was going to be the Danny Jacobs show regardless of what happened in the fucking ring. And that's the shit that has to stop. And there has to come a certain time where, as fans, we have to be educated enough about what's going on and why it's happening to know when to turn the TV off, or to know when it's time to stop participating at a certain point. You know, if a fight's taking place in a certain state, or you know a certain judge is judging the fight, don't watch that shit, man. Don't watch it. It's the only way we as fans have any power in it. Look at these bad decisions. Look who's judging them. You see the judges judging these fights, turn the TV off. I know it sucks. We all want to see the fight. But if we want to stop seeing ripoffs, we have to let them know, hey, these individuals, the Julie Lettermans, the Adelaide Birds, the Gail Van Hoys, if you put them on, we turn the fucking TV off. Because there is no central authority in boxing. There's state entities, you know, the state athletic commissions in America. There's certain smaller countries that have their own athletic commissions. There's the belts. There's the promoters. There's the networks. There's no one central body that can hold anybody accountable. So we have to be the accountability. We have to turn the fucking TV off if they say Adelaide Bird is judging. We have to. That's a bad example because she didn't judge this fight. But there are judges who are consistently doing wrong by the sport that keep getting work. And part of the why they keep getting work is because we stay no matter what. You know, they know what kind of fans we are. They know that I've been coming back, and I'm not an old dude. I've been coming back for fucking 17 years for this shit. And they do it over and over and over again. And I keep coming back. And they know it. They know we come back. They know we want to see good fights. They know we want to see good fights regardless of how fucked up and corrupt the sport is. So just remember that. They'll keep feeding you bullshit if they know you'll eat it. That's all I'm going to say.